Hey guys, I wanted to explain the next project that we are doing. So this is building off of what we did last week with our topic tasting. You are going to be creating some sort of presentation on a topic regarding World War II. So we have six options here. We have the one word project, the World War II album, social media project, digital blackout poetry, the children's book, and then the song or rap projects. So I'm going to go through each one of these and kind of give you some details on them. We are starting this today, and we are presenting these. We're just going to present these in class on Thursday. So our last day in class this week. So that gives you 3 whole days in class to work on this, and we'll be presenting these on Thursday. So for this, you can choose from any of these topics that you would like. Okay, so these are all things that we went over on Thursday, like I said, with regard to our topic tasting. So some of them are battles, some of them are people, some of them are like military items. So things like Hitler's Youth and brainwashing, tanks, planes, the Luftwaffe, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of things in here that you can go over or you can choose from. You get to choose one, and you can go into as much detail as you want on that. Okay, so for our options, our first option is the one word project. So essentially, for the one-word project, this will be done on paper, and I can give you cardstock when the time comes. But you're going to choose one word about your topic. So if it could be a battle, it could be one word about that battle. If it's a person, it could be one word describing that person. You're going to choose that one word, and then on the page, on the paper, you are going to represent that one word. So, for example, we did this in U.S. history over the 1970s, and the word they chose was chaotic. So they have chaotic written on the page on one side of the page, and then you're also going to include 5 images that describe it, why it was chaotic. So in the 1970s, there was a lot of protests. There was an oil crisis. We had issues with the Soviet Union. So chaos, chaotic really fits kind of that definition. And then on the back of your paper, you're going to give me 10 pieces of evidence that support that word and why you chose that word. So there's 10 items here, 10 reasons why chaotic was the choice here. Okay, so you're going to do this all on paper. Okay, there are obviously a ton of topics. If you want to kind of pass a word by me, let me know what you're interested in doing. I can help you out with that. Make it look nice though. Okay, you can see here that we did it. It shows a full screen and everything with the word on it. So that's a one word project. You can see the grading over here as well. The second option is the digital blackout poetry. So this will actually be done on paper. Okay, so or on excuse me on online. Um, it will not be done on paper. And you're going to be creating a digital blackout poem about your topic. So blackout poetry is when you take like an article or something and then you black out or remove certain words from the text in order to create kind of a different messaging or a different kind of topic itself. So what you're going to do is find an article on your topic and then paste that text into the template provided. So there's a template down here. You can click this link for the digital blackout poetry template. Um, this is going to show you how to actually do that on the blackout poetry. So if you watch this video here, it will show you. So if you're interested in it, you can watch this poetry or watch this video on how to create digital blackout poetry. And what it ends up doing is this one's over the 1980s that we did this. Okay, is it creates this. So this is an article about the 1980s, and you can see here defines a decade, ends communism, Ronald Reagan, Berlin Wall, challenges Americans enjoyed television, cable, Nickelodeon, ESPN, MTV. Okay, so it's got a lot of topics, and even though like 90% of the words are blacked out, you can still see stuff that is kind of shown through and represents this topic. Um, the theme of this poem should be centered around your topic, and you need at least 12 words to be a part of your poem. You're also going to include images in the background, like this video, like this screen here has it. Okay. Now, if you would like to do this on paper, you can. You would just need to be the one to turn in a very clear picture of the blackout poem and put your explanation for it in private comments on the assignment. Okay. So you have this here, and you can do that by watching this video. If you have more questions about this, I can answer them tomorrow. The next option is the World War II album. So for this, you are going to be creating an album about your topic. So create a playlist. Think of it that way, right? A playlist that represents your topic. The playlist is going to have an album cover. Okay, so you can see like this one we did over Vietnam, the war in Vietnam. It's going to have an album cover that looks, you know, nice. You will have a title, picture, color, and designs. You'll have at least 10 songs on it. So if we click here, you can see there are 10 songs here about the Vietnam War. Okay, each song, or excuse me, you need songs from three different genres. So three different kind of styles of music or types of music. Okay, so you're talking about rock or country or pop or rap or classical, whatever styles you want. Three different genres. And then you need to have evidence or explanation for each of these topics on why you chose that topic. Okay. Obviously, it can be like more modern songs. It doesn't need to be songs from like World War II or anything like this. But you need to have the song, the artist, and then the genre, and then a short little explanation of why you chose that song for your topic. Okay. So think about songs, and you can Google this. There's a lot of songs about war, a lot of songs about these people. Think about like if you're doing like a person, think about some of their characteristics. Were they cruel or were they calculating? Were they really smart? Like, what does that actually look like when deciding this? So you do not actually need to like make a physical album or anything like this. This is all just the songs here, and then you go through and explain why each of the songs here. There's a template for this too. If you click here, there's a template that you can use for this. This is done digitally. All right, the next option is a children's book. Okay, so for this children's book, in class on Tuesday, I can show you some examples from previous years, but you're going to create an informative children's book focused on your chosen topic. So this is hand done. You can print out pictures if you choose. If you'd rather print out pictures, that's fine. But I need to have a physical copy of this. So there'll be pictures on each page, words on each page, color, and then you will also present this to the class. You'll sit down, and you'll read through your book. Now, think about a children's book, right? There's not a lot of words on each page. Okay, it's pretty short. There's usually a lot of pictures. It's simple kind of text and everything like this. You can have a lot of fun with this one. We've had some good ones over the years with this. Um, you can also create a social media account. Okay, so you can make it through TikTok, make it through Instagram, or if you want to do Twitter or X or whatever, you can make a social media account about your topic. So obviously this is pretty easy if you choose a person, right? You can make a social media account based off of that person. Um, Now, you do not need to like publish these or like make these on your personal site or anything like this. A lot of these you can make one and download all the topics and everything, and then just share that with me. There's a lot of options here. If you want to use like an Instagram template, it's like the old Instagram. If you don't want to create a real one, you can use that Instagram template right here by clicking on this. Um, there's a lot of good options here. You can see some examples up here. Basically, though, for this assignment, if you do a quick TikTok video, it needs to either be four 15-second clips or one 1-minute clip, and make sure you use like the trends or effects. It's not just you like talking into the camera. Make it a TikTok. Okay, you could just record something and call it that. Okay, video and content, creativity, effort, and participation. Instagram, if you want to do reels on Instagram, that's fine. Just follow the same template as TikTok. But if you want to create like an Instagram account, you'll have a username, profile pic, bio, background, 10 posts. Okay, so that could be either pictures or text. Make sure they're creative and you'll present these in class. Same thing with the Twitter or X option. The final one is a rap or a song. If you want, you can make a parody of your topic. A rap or a song needs to be a minimum of 1 minute in length, 2 minutes max, and the rap or song can be performed live in class, or you can pre-record it and play that pre-recording during class. The lyrics need to focus on the content, but make sure you have fun with it. Make sure it's related to World War II, though. It can be made up, or it can be a parody of another song. There are some examples down here from previous classes. We used to do this over the Russian Revolution, so if you want to watch some of these examples. Okay, so if you want to do this alone, obviously that's fine. If you want to do this with a partner, The only options that you have to do it with a partner is either the children's book, and it needs to be a pretty good children's book, or if you want to do the rap or the song together. Okay? Not groups of three, but a partner. Okay? If you want to do that, you can do either the children's book or the rap or the song. Obviously, I'll be able to talk a little bit more detail about it with you if you have questions. But for today, for our first hour here with this, I want you to choose your topic and I want you to choose what type of project you are going to do. Okay? If you have further questions, I can help you out after that.